Good morning, everyone. Welcome to my channel. And today I'm going to be doing some live clairvoyant psychic readings. So people are like, well, what messages are going to come up? Well, I don't know, right? I never know what messages are going to come through here by spirit. So I communicate and talk with spirit 24/7. So what messages are supposed to come for you, it's naturally going to come out. Now, what I need from you is please let me know your first name only. What zodiac sign are you? Like, are you like a Virgo, a Leo, Capricorn? Please let me know what I don't need to know the moon rising or the time of birth or anything like that, because I do read into your level of consciousness. I like asking what zodiac signs you are as well for many reasons. And the only way, and ask me a specific question, by the way, like don't say, what do you see coming up for me? Ask me a specific question. And then that way I will be able to read into that and say, what messages does your ancestors want you to know, your guides? What message does the spirit world want you to know? And so on and so on. And the only way you're going to be able to catch me live is to subscribe to my channel, for goodness sakes. What's it going to do? Just hit that little button down there that says subscribe, and you will get notifications and you can catch my weekly Cosmic Vibes series where I talk about what is going to happen every single day with energies, how we can utilize and work it through, and so on. There's certain days that I won't plan things. There's certain days where I'm like, that's actually a really good day to plan that. So that's why when I work with the energies will work with you as long as you're not forcing. Now, March, this is a powerful month, like a huge life changing month, because we are moving into the eclipse season. Now, when we have the eclipse season, that can be life changing, seriously life changing. This is when it's expect the unexpected. This is when shocking events can happen. This is when all of a sudden, like earthquakes happen, like that's how powerful the eclipse is. Weather disruptions, tsunamis, all of a sudden, like suddenly somebody passes away. I mean, that can happen at any time, of course, but you will just see and you'll be finding out more shocking events. But realistically, like the way the world is, what's shocking anymore? Like, really, like what is shocking? Nothing is shocking or out of the ordinary anymore, because with this eclipse, as we're moving through this year with Universal 9 here, there's a lot of completions. So completions can be like a toxic relationship, endings. It very well can be endings of jobs. Maybe you're going to be moving, endings, completions. You're completing certain cycles with people, or maybe it's, like a pattern, anything. And with this eclipse, what you are wanting to resolve and work through, now is the time to do it. Because when you are doing this, you will see how that energy will work with you. Like I recently, the first this morning, I booked appointments specifically for this month for certain things that I'm like, you know what? I have to do this. I have to go through this. I have to resolve this. Like, no matter what it is, do we want to face what's comfortable? No. However, the only way that you're going to have liberation within and to have things resolve itself is to face it. So we have Mercury retrograde coming in. Like, oh my God, right? So you're already going to feel that now. And sometimes with the retrograde, like we have Venus retrograde too. So Venus retrograde is also a time for healing relationships. It very well can be endings from karmic connections, karmic ties. You know what I mean? Like certain relationships that you're like, this just isn't working out for me anymore, and then we end things and we go on our way, and so on and so on. And it could very well bring up some old wounded wounds that we still need healing from. So as we are healing old wounds, relationships, especially during Venus, right? You're going to be more emotional, and healing relationships could be people that have passed away, your pets, or your loved ones, or friends, and also healing from other relationships that you've been. Maybe, you guys are going to be ending relationships, and it's never easy, of course, However, if you don't end certain connections that you're struggling with, where you're like, wow, I feel like I'm walking on eggshells. Seriously, this isn't working. Like, that is not your person. It's not. It's not, because your person will accept you unconditionally as is, and you can be yourself. Would you not rather be with somebody where, no matter what's going on, if you're like feeling, I got to talk to that person. You want to bond with that person. If you want to really build a solid foundation, you really got to bring things to the table. It's like, this just isn't working right now, but how can we resolve this? Or what can we do to make changes? When you go on it like that, you know, if your person is willing to hear you and say, yeah, let's work on this, like, wow. If your person is pointing the finger at you and not willing to do anything, and you're like, wow, this is hard, pay attention to that, because that eclipse, as I mentioned, that will be the rude awakening when the universe steps in and boom, like, instantaneously expect the unexpected. So it's really important to pay attention to what signs are being brought forth on the table for you. So we've already got some people in here. So let's find out. So we have Matthew, August 14th, fellow Leo. I want to know about my dad's house. Um, I won't go into specific details, but Matthew, I don't know when you came on. I'm always saying, when let's say, just for instance, when somebody's not well, okay, if it's something minor or if it's something major, when you're having that pull to, what, I should contact that person or go see that person, or wow, I have some concerns, you really should reach out and spend time with them. When it comes to health matters and stuff like that, this month, by the way, with Mercury retrograde and the eclipse, there can be miracles brought in. Like, if you're concerned about something, Mercury retrograde with the eclipse, it's really important to focus on your health. That's even why my appointments this month are more, 90% of them are all health related, right? It's like stuff you avoid, but it's like, I got it. I got it. Like, just do this, get it over with, right? So what I would do in that circumstances is, I do see some concerns, yes. And with your dad, I'm just really hearing he should boost up his immune system a lot more, Matthew. But spend time with him. It's almost like it's like his body is kind of like feeling tired, right? And it's really important to pay attention to that. So I would just kind of give him extra, like, extra attention right now, and so on and so on. Because when it's something more major, right? I kind of leave that up to the spirit world, because this is a month of miracles. This is a month of expect the unexpected either way, right? So let me know your dad's first name, by the way, Matthew. Nancy, June 18th. My married life is not going good. Okay, so what I would do, like, Nancy, this month we have Venus retrograde, okay, which can bring in healing in a relationship and also endings. We have the eclipse energy, which can sudden end things. It can also, with that Venus energy, help you to heal. So what I would do is really, really important, Nancy, is have a heart-to-heart talk. Like, be very honest with your person, and just say, I've got some concerns with this. I've got I'm just not happy with these certain areas. Can we talk? And if your person is like, no, I don't want to, I would really examine the relationship and even just maybe, suggest, well, why don't we go see a marriage coach, a counselor, a marriage relationship coach, and so on and so on? Because on a Ronald, I don't know why I'm hearing that name Ronald for some reason, by the way. I just heard that come in loud by spirit, Ronald. But anyways, I would bring up points and say, you know what, because I want this marriage to work out and I'm not really happy, I have some concerns. I want to do what it takes to really work on our marriage. So if your person keeps on pushing you away, not interested, not interested, this is, when you really got to examine this because the eclipse can end things suddenly. It can bring in, okay, this is why it's like pay attention to what is not working right now with the eclipse and Mercury retrograde and Venus retrograde. Like it's a very powerful, life-changing month. So I do see a lot of concerns with your marriage, Nancy. Yes. I hear that, your person, by the way, is very stubborn and just kind of brushes stuff aside. However, that's not going to change at all. I don't see any big changes. However, from your perspective, I would, but Jenny, I can't talk to him. He doesn't listen. Okay. Well, have you thought maybe about writing a letter, even if it's 1,000 pages long, let's say, writing down what you're concerned about, all of these things. And, you can even end it and say, at the end of the letter, say, it's because I love you. I want to work this out. I want to work this out. And I don't know how else to communicate with you. So these are my suggestions, like a marriage counselor, relationship coach, such like that. And if not, then I keep hearing Ronald. Like, that's really loud. Are you guys connected to a Ronald, by the way? Uh, Maybe there's going to Ronald coming in here for some reason. But anyways, spirit, give me more clarity with that. But anyways, so I would handle that first because it's not going to get any better, Nancy, right? Like we all go, no marriage is perfect, no relationship is perfect by any means. However, if you let things slide for too long, this is what's going to happen. There's going to be a lot of issues, a lot of problems, a lot of miscommunications, which can cause endings, especially this month. Like, especially this month. Like, it's a powerful month. Like, anything can happen at any second. Like, seriously, like, really. Laura, November 24th, Sag. Is there a specific energy or entity that is following me that intends to sabotage me? Laura, I literally keep hearing right away that it's really important for you. And this is where it's like we have to look within. Take a look at, you know, who you are surrounded with, right? Like there's certain people, and it could be family, it could be our spouse, it could be a friend, it could be like workers, like it could be anybody. Because it's like who you surround yourself with, you become. So if you are around negative people, if you're around people that bring you down, if you are around people that is you shared your dreams with somebody and they knock it down, those are negative energies. So all of a sudden you're like, well, why isn't this happening? Why is my life coming apart in all of these areas? Because spirit really wants you to take a look at boundaries. Spirit wants you to take a look at who am I surrounding myself with and be really, really honest with yourself, right? And also take a look within. Am I being honest? Am I being deceitful? Am I saying or behaving in a way that could hurt other people? Because it's like what energy we send out, it really comes back. Karma, right? So I do feel there's a certain type of person around you, yes, but that's a really kind of a personal, I don't want to go into a lot of details here because that's really personal, right? Um, I mean, you can always book a reading with me to get like a lot of details. What I mean, very specific, but whenever we're live here, there's certain things I won't bring to the table because I don't want to hurt somebody or make somebody feel uncomfortable, by the way, as well. So really take a look at that. And you know what I mean? It's like we all have different energies and people around us as well. But it's, with me, there's certain energies that are negative, but I don't get involved with it. If I run into somebody, let's see, and I know they're negative, you know, I will cut that connection really short. Oh, I'm sorry, I gotta go. you know what I mean? I'm on my way somewhere. Certain things like that, be polite, but pay attention to who you're hanging out with, who your friends are, and that can be hurtful at times because you're like, well, that's my good friend, I get that. But if you're getting drained, if you're getting like run down because of other people, you got to take a look at that. Like you really do. So because if you get involved with the wrong people, you create more karmic situations coming your way, right? So be very careful. So I hope I gave that gave you a little bit more insight there, right? Um, Pranic. Hi, Jeni. Any messages from spirit? Ask me a specific question. So you guys, whenever you want to ask me a specific question, like a specific question, because I will read into that specific question for you. Like right now, as I mentioned with this eclipse, it's really, really, really important because a lot of surprises can come. It's like, oh my God, the eclipse, oh my God, don't freak out, right? It's like there can be a huge transformational breakthrough for you. There really could. All of a sudden you might get that job you want. All of a sudden you can get the results. You're like, wow, that's awesome. That's really good. They're good results. All of a sudden, like you could win the lotto. Like anything has happened. But if you are running away and avoiding situations that are toxic, that are causing you pain and suffering, that are all of those things, that's when things are going to get difficult, like really difficult, right? And we don't need any more difficult in our life. We've had enough crap from the world, from these so-called leaders, as I call it, right? Just to give you guys like a heads up, just really, if you're on the stock market, be very, very, very careful. There very well could be a crash coming. Um, um, Aruna, Virgo, September 8th. When will I get married? I just saw the number three, actually, the number three coming up for some reason. So, it's really, really important. And this is what I would write down. The last thing we want to do is force anything or push anything or control anything, because especially this month, by the way, this is a month to slow down. This is a month to not rush, 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 right? So I keep seeing the number three. And what I would start doing right now, you could be within 3 years, could be within 3 months, right? I would start writing down different qualities with um, what type of person you truly, truly want. Because I'm really hearing that this is a year for you where you're going to be focusing, like more on you and family and situations as well. And then whenever you just really surrender the whole kind of marriage situation, all of a sudden, boom, you're going to be like, oh, I didn't see that coming, right? But I keep seeing three, like literally, and two, the number two. So within 2 to 3 years, but don't push it. Like, don't, because things do come together at the right timing. It really does. And we might not understand. We might be like, why hasn't this happened? Why hasn't that happened? And then when it does happen naturally, as long as it's naturally, you're going to be like, oh, I get it. That's why. Because I had to go through this shit, or I had to resolve this, or whatever, or this, that. So hang in there, like just hang in there. Capricorn, December 30th. Capricorn, does my cat Bella, oh, my dog's name was Bella. Does my cat Bella, who passed away, have any messages for me? Aw. Okay. Let me just take a look here. Actually, I'm hearing right away something. You very, like really, really pay attention to the signs. Like I know that it's so easy to say that, blah 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 blah, but I'm literally seeing kind of like hair, right? Like fur balls, just certain things like that you might find suddenly, and you're going to be like, well, yeah, of course my cat, shed, and it doesn't matter if she passed away like 20 years ago, right? Something more about hair, being found of hair and such like that. And pay attention to the meow. Pay attention to if you hear something coming through and you're like, where did that meow come from? Is there like a cat around me? That would be her. But what I'm hearing for you is when you It's almost like focus on you, because when you're focused on more and grounding more of your personal life and such like that, things are going to open up even more for you, more professionally, more with career wise and such. And I literally just kind of I saw like a, oh, how do I describe this? Like a sign, like a black and white sign. I don't know what this is. Pay attention to the black and white sign. Um, you know how like the yin and the yang sign, it's like black and white, but um, something black and white. Pay attention to that more so and more so. But relationships are going to deepen. Family situations could pull you more in this year as well, by the way. Um, and you might hear her, what do you call it? Like purring beside you. So if you're hearing like a cat purring and you're like what's that? Pay attention, that will be her as well. So like our animals are always with us. Actually, I saw my dog Bella last night. I was laying back just watching television, and I like just what? Like I like looked 3 times. She ran right, like literally right beside me. Like I was laying on the bed watching TV and she ran in my bedroom door. And I'm like, and then I'm like, okay, was that her? Like, like, and yeah, right. You can still see them and such like that and talk to her because she's very much still with you, very much still with you. Our animals are with us, right? There's another animal coming too. I'm hearing from her, not today, but there's gonna be another animal she's gonna bring to you, by the way. You're like, really? Okay, so Brenda, I think, be Brenda Virgo, Aquarius rising and moon. Where should I be putting my attention for a miracle? I would put your attention on yourself, first of all. I literally hear that you need to start focusing on yourself more and more and more. This could be like a really powerful year for you. Uh, boundary setting, boundary setting, boundary setting. I'm really hearing self care. This is the time for you to really self care, self boundaries even more. And you're going to find that whenever you start doing that, that new doors are going to really start to open up for you that was once closed, that, like was once locked, right? So you're going to feel that. You're going to feel some type of a shift is coming and such like that. And especially if you're thinking about like certain projects that, gosh, I'd like to work on that, or, that that that's okay, or I'm getting pulled to that. Really pay attention to that. I just keep on hearing health matters as well. Focus on making yourself really, really healthy, really, really healthy. So everything will be all right. Everything will be okay. But I would do that. And like I'm saying, this month with the eclipse, this is the month of expect and unexpected. You guys should watch my Cosmic Vibes video. I do a weekly Cosmic Vibes series, and the newest one just went up, I think, a couple of days ago or yesterday. And it's the eclipse energy plus every single day, what's going to happen, how we can utilize that. So make sure you watch that video because it will also help give you some understanding of what is coming up, how to work through it as well. So, Mary, when I meditate, I see at times a lot of faces of people. I don't know who might they be. Whenever you meditate, we can get any messages coming in. We can get any signs being shown to us. We can smell, we can feel, like anything could happen because when you're meditating, you're on a higher plane, consciousness plane, and so on. So the faces that you're seeing very well could be your ancestors, they could be your guides, they could be, um, showing you that you're not alone. A lot of people have been going through a lot of situations, right? As our world has been changed and being destroyed by these so-called leaders, right? It really changes our mindset. It really pushes us in a different direction and so on and so on. And for all of us, if you're paying attention, you very well could feel like, wow, I'm feeling somebody's beside me or in the room with me or in my vehicle, but I'm not sure who that is. Really pay attention because that is someone from the other side. So when you're in meditation, you could be seeing, I'm just seeing like or feeling or sensing like people around me. Yeah, you can tap in on the other side and because the other side, people look up, but the other side's literally right in front of us. It's all around us. Like I've even seen like, especially last month in February, one of my guides, like literally sitting on my sofa wearing all beige and white with brown punches. It's a male, it's a man. And for him to stand up, he would be like 7 feet tall, like or even taller. He'd be really tall. Like I know why he's here. I know why he's with me, right? But we can be showing that in dreams. We can be showing that in meditations. We can sense things. And whenever you're meditating or you're feeling energies around you, just really kind of go by how you're feeling. Like you weren't feeling scared, Mary, were you? No. You weren't feeling like, oh my God, no. Because your abilities were opening up even more so, by the way. Like you're very empathic, you're very sensitive. So your abilities are just going to keep on expanding and opening up. So even I meditate every day, I chant every day, and so on and so on. And I mean, I could be driving somewhere and I get a message coming. I get 24/7 messages, by the way. It could be anywhere, right? I get woken up in the middle of the night with a message, and I'm like, really? Just put me back to sleep, for God's sakes, right? So, yeah, those are your guides that I'm really hearing that are around you. So, sometimes even in meditation, we'll get a visitation from somebody that we know who has passed on. So, um, hang on here. Katie, April 28th, Taurus. Oh, goodness sakes. Will my ovary be healed naturally, or do you see an operation my way? So, what you need to do first is this month is health focused, right? Like Mercury retrograde, this is the perfect time to focus on your health because we have Mercury retrograde this month as well with that eclipse. So, this is a very health conscious month, from now until mid April. So if there are any health concerns, let's say, we can heal ourselves as well. So I would, just really take a look at and say to Spirit, I am healed. Thank you, Spirit, for healing me. My body is healed. So it very well, could, like you're holding on to a lot of tension and such like that. When we hold on to a lot of tension, when we hold on to fear and such like that, what happens is it's like that wound that, like your ovary, it's like throbbing, because your body will react to your thoughts. So if we're like, you know what, I got to get it done and over with and out of the way, but I'm healed, I'm healing, I'm surrendering it, I'm trusting in the higher power, you'll be surprised how things have its way to heal yourself. Things have its way to just disappear and go away, right? However, your doctor, I would listen to your doctor always, right? However, it's almost like there's something that you could drink that could make it go away as well. By the way, there's what is it like Edward Casey, Edgar Casey. He used to put the cloth, what is it, cod oil, cod liver oil, I think it was, on things like that. If you can buy a book on Edward Casey, cod liver oil, like on his healing methods, I would do it. Or maybe you could Google it online somewhere, Edgar Casey healing methods. I don't know, like maybe remedy would come up, and he would like put the cod liver oil on it and cover it with a cloth or something, and then certain ailments would naturally go away, right? But I don't see it being a huge ordeal. I really don't. I really don't, to be honest. However, just make sure, of course, that you get it checked and look through. So this is the perfect month, believe me. All my clients this month, 95% of them are all medical, are all health and wellness. Like seriously, they are, right? Because it's like when you take advantage of energy right now, it will work with you. It really will work with you. And it's really important to pay attention to, all of you guys really, like with retrograde too, people from our past are coming back, with Venus retrograde, people from our past are coming back. So it gives you that opportunity to forgive someone, to maybe, rekindle something with them. This is not a month to start a brand new relationship during Mercury retrograde, getting to know somebody and so on and so on. Yes, forgiving that person. It's like, well, I don't want to connect with that person. You don't have to connect with that person. However, if they want to apologize, I would accept that and forgive that person just so you can move on. Because if you're holding on to that anger, that grudge, it affects your body. Like it really affects your body. Our thoughts can affect our body. So if your thoughts are like going into that fear zone over certain things, it can enhance it, right? Like I get it. I'm waiting for my biopsy myself, to be honest, right? I just had surgery in February. So, but I'm surrendering it. I'm surrendering it to my higher self. Thank you for healing my body, spirit. Very grateful it's done. It's over with. My body's healed. My body's healing, and so on, right? But so that can work out, but it just depends, right? Jasmine. My name is Jasmine, October 4th, Libra. Any messages for me from my guardian angels, specifically from my mummy Isabel, who passed last year? Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for your passing, uh, Isabel. Um, I'm literally like, I just heard beautiful soul. Like I know, I just heard beautiful soul, and you really, really got to start believing in yourself more. I just literally hear that, accept yourself is, just really embrace who you are. It's like don't hold back who you are because you're very unique. You're very, very, different, of course. So you've been through a lot, and this is a year of a lot of healing for you, and especially too, you'll even notice that even more so by the end of this year. And there's something connected when you're really getting that pull, especially by the water. For some reason, I'm hearing go by the water, like really, really go by the water. Like if it's to like a beach, like ocean, wherever, because water is very water is where empaths go. If we're really sensitive, if we're very empathic, it's a really good place to heal. And I mean, like your mom is very, very, very much with you, like very, very, very much with you, and you're gonna feel her energy, like you really are. Um, yeah, I'm hearing coconuts, like for some reason. So coconuts, right? Like, palm trees, tropical by the water if you can, very much if you can. And I'm literally seeing like a baby for some reason, like holding like a baby, and you have a heart of gold. You also too, but you have to kind of take a step back and set more boundaries as well, like really set more boundaries because whenever we keep giving, then we block from receiving. So set yourself boundaries and I feel an energy of a male around you too, by the way. Right away, an energy of a male that's very much around you. Butterflies too. So that's what I'm hearing. And really, really believe in yourself even more and more and more. and this month here too, by the way, like with the new moons and the full moons as well. I mean, like as we get towards the end of March, we're entering into like more powerful energy. So if you guys remember, you gotta watch my Cosmic Vibe series. Pay attention to what you were doing if you remember July and August 2023. Like really look back to July, August, and September 2023, because you could find that similar circumstances, like what were you doing last time? What were you doing during that time? It could come right back up for you. So it's like, okay, yeah, wow, that I just kind of went through that. Or maybe I was thinking of making that move. Maybe I was thinking about ending this, or maybe I wanted to start that, or whatever, whatever, whatever. You're going to find that certain things are going to come right back up for you. And it gives you that opportunity to really go through it and look at it and such like that, review it, retweak it, especially with this Mercury retrograde energy that is coming in. That this is the time to really utilize this energy, work with it, work through it. Very, very, very well could have some big like technical issues or electronic issues for those of you who are online all day long. That's the worst part of it for me. I'm, online a lot. So it could go down. Don't blame this, and that, right? The combination with the solar flares, the combination of it's like, oh my God, really? The internet just went. A lot of disruptions are coming. The eclipse can knock everything down. So really pay attention if you guys, especially for those of you who are traveling. For those of you who are traveling in March, early April, be careful, be extra careful with the eclipse. As I mentioned, it can bring on earthquakes. It can bring on. So if you're looking at going somewhere, pay attention to, okay, is this a time when they have hurricanes? Is this the time when, whatever, whatever, whatever? Just be really careful because I'm really seeing something. I talked about it last year. I talked about it in my predictions video for this year as well. So I have a lot of concerns. So with the Mercury retrograde too, it can bring delays. So all of a sudden your luggage could go missing, right? How many times is for those of you who have it's like, where's my luggage? Oh, we'll have to go to you in a couple of days or whatever like that. And it's how frustrating is that? And delays can bring, don't freak out because delays happen for reasons too. So if you were getting on a plane, delayed 2 hours, and you're like, what's going on? Engine trouble. Really? Would you get on that plane if they're having engine trouble, or would you have to wait 2 hours? Like it cost an airline $3,000 a minute. That was a few years ago. So God only knows what the cost is for an airline. They get charged that, right? That's why the mechanics and the electrical and the pilots. My friend's a pilot, so I hear about all of this. And he used to fix the planes as a mechanic, but then he went to become a pilot. So I hear all of this information from him, right? And the pilots have to give the approval that, you know what, okay, the mechanics go, there you go, this is our report. And that pilot will say, okay, that's okay to fly. Or the pilot's like, no, that's not good enough. So don't worry when there's delays. Delays happen for reasons. So it can bring a lot of frustrations as well, and this is a time to revamp things, to really pay attention to it. And don't run from situations. Like, really, don't run from situations because there's going to be a lot of, healing, as I mentioned earlier, and healing old wounds. I mean, you could have a memory, or all of a sudden, why is that memory from 20 years ago, let's say, like whenever it is, why is that coming up? Like, because your soul is bringing things to the surface for you to heal and work through more and more and more. So as you start healing, you start taking your power back. because any traumatic situation takes longer to process. It's like when somebody passes on to seeing a traumatic situation, right? At times they'll get brought into the healing room, as I call. I've had many near-death experiences myself, right? And if you've had a very traumatic experience, let's say, up why you died, you will go into a healing room and they will heal you. They heal you. But Jenny, I'm not my body. I get that. It doesn't matter. Healing is done on all different levels. So, and then you can come back if it's not your time, and so on and so on and so on. And they'll keep you there. And some people have a hard time coming to terms when they have passed. So when people pass, that's why I read into their energy if they transition smoothly or if they're fighting. No, I want to stay down there. I have billions of dollars in assets. I don't want to go to the spirit world because they're so stuck on these materialistic things. So there's a really big process as well. So, you know, it's really, really important for you guys to start writing down like goals. This is like that universal 9 year. So it's a year more of making long-term commitments, long-term goals than short-term. I make short-term goals and I make long-term goals. So right now it's like, okay, what's the reality? Okay. So when you start doing goals, be very specific with what you want to change, with what you want to work on, with what you want to create. Vision boards. The manifesting right now is off the charts. Huge. The universe is like, well, what do you want? Well, Jenny, I got it in my mind. No, I get it. However, you can forget that. When you write a vision board, you can look at it every day. I create a vision board and I add things on when I'm like, okay, I need to do that or I want to work on that. I'll just put it on in details. I don't look at when. Sometimes you can, right? I've already actually crossed off a couple of things I got done this year so far, right? And that could be like even a long-term goal I was working on last year, and now it's just finally completed. So really be very specific because the universe wants you to work on it, and the universe will create it for you more physically when it's written down physically. But when am I going to meet my person? Write down the qualities that you are looking for. They must accept me unconditionally. They must speak my language. Our cultures are perfectly fine. They must speak my language. You know what I mean? They must live locally for me, be financially secure, treat me with respect. Like, you got to be very, very, very detailed with what you want. Like, believe me, you know, because when you let go of the wrong people in your life. And you are going to be doing that even more so this month. It opens up new doors for you and the universe. This is a month of destined partners, meeting destined partners. Destined partners can be a business contact. Destined partners can be a soulmate. Like destined partners can be, well, I'm really stuck with this. I'm really stuck with that. Like, oh my gosh, or where's my person? Like whatever it is. This is a month it's going to happen. So the universe is like, okay, what do they want? What do they want? Right? Like, like we're sitting back waiting for you. So start working on this and really work through your wounds, let's say, right? Because when you're feeling disconnected, like literally disconnected around situations, places, people, you need to step back. You really, really need to step back and examine who they are, where you are, and so on and so on and so on. Believe me, I had a huge argument the other day. I'm sure everybody in my neighborhood heard me. But sometimes we have to stand up for ourselves and kick some ass and not have somebody try to walk over us. That's exactly what I did. So we all have those limitations. For every action, there's a reaction, and so on and so on and so on. So what you allow will continue. So it's really important to really pay attention to everything right now. You know what I mean? This is what happens with this eclipse. That's when all of a sudden, you could be doing anything and all of a sudden something ends just like that. And you're like, what? Because the universe stepped in to get rid of that person, to get rid of that situation. Like, believe me, I've seen it so many times. I did the other day because I heard about what happened. Um, and I'm like, wow, thank you, universe. You know what I mean? So the universe is with you. You have to trust it. Oh, I don't trust the universe. And da, da. I get it because whenever we've been through a lot of stuff, it can be really, really hard. And that's when you have to take that step back. You really have to take that step back. And you're going to find that you're going to also be working through like toxic like patterns. If it's a behavior, if it's a habit, you're going to be letting go of more, let's say, toxic people around you. You're going to be like, I don't want to get involved with this drama. I'm just wanting to have more of that peace and so on. So this is the time to really pay attention to your surroundings with everything right now and start looking at, well, how do I do this and this and that? Just start writing it down. Do research, like do research on what it is you want. Well, gee, I'd like to be a yoga teacher, let's say. Well, that's awesome. That's great. Okay. Have you signed up for classes? Are you going to take an online class? Or are you going to go to class physically? Have you looked around? Like so many things. Because the only way you will see changes is to make change happen. And for those of you who are older, by the way, look back into March, April 2007. What was happening then? What was happening then? You could find that it could come up again during the eclipse, similar situations. Similar situations. So, Paula, hey, Paula, do you see Hilton Head Island as a healing place? It will be. Don't rush into, like, just don't rush anything. Don't rush anything. Like, make sure, Paula, you both are okay, right? Make sure you get the heads up that, you know what, we're okay to be doing this. Don't rush anything. That's really, really, really important. Like, really, really, really important, right? Like getting away and healing and all of that. That's wonderful. That's good. But um, there's just something that could kind of stop that. There's something that could come in the way. So it just really depends when you want to go there. Like, you know what I mean? Like the eclipse season, Mercury retrograde, it can be really like that right now. It really can. There's a lot of stuff that's going to happen. And traveling during Mercury retrograde is not recommended at all. So just hang. But yeah, there's something, Paula, it's kind of be like something that's gonna might cause things. So don't rush. Don't be in a hurry. Like really, don't be in a hurry. Because if we like go too quickly with certain things, it can kind of we can be like, oh no, right? So just really hang in there. It's like kind of, work on more of the healing where you are right now. Get everything really good. The final, yeah, you're doing good. You guys can go, right? Sagittarius, how my career outlook. I'm actually hearing this could be a very good year for you, Jen, by the way. As long as you are putting your focus into yourself, like more of yourself, you might find that you're going to want to work on some new projects because I'm just hearing expansion for you as long as you work on you. Like I'm always working on things, right? Multitasking, different projects. And I say nothing to anybody. What are you working on, Jeni? Stuff. Like what? Stuff. This is the time where not to share what you're working on with other people. Because let's say if you're like, oh, I want to be a ballet dancer. Let's just say as an example, right? I'm not going to be no ballet dancer, but so you tell your friends or your family, they could just very well just take that dream away from you Why are you doing that? That's not going to work out. And they're going to give you all of the reasons why you can't. And boom, your dream is gone. Right. So this is what I'm hearing for you, Jen. You've got that big heart. You've done a lot for people and so on and so on. And I'm hearing a lot of success. This could be a really successful year for you as long as you are following what you're really passionate about, that you're really drawn towards. Because when we follow our passions, a new door opens. Like I do photography on the side as my passion. And oh my God, I'm meeting the coolest people, really hot guys, I might say. But you know what I mean? It's like when you follow your passion, new opportunities open up, new doors start opening up for you, and you don't know where that could take you, right? So it's really important that you really pay attention to what you're drawn towards. That is so important to do that. Really, really important to do that. And just really ask yourself, well, how do I know what direction? How do I know, like, you can always book a reading with me and I can give you a lot of clarity, very very detailed reading, because sometimes all we need is just like a confirmation that we're on the right path, that, and I give you, so if you're like, if I take this job, I'll give you the insights onto what I see with that job, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And then it's up to you to make that decision on that direction. So, that's why it's really, really important to really listen with into your intuition. Start writing down what you want to change. Start writing, like even on my vision board, there's certain things that I want to change, that I want to work through, let's say. So I write it down and I surrender it and leave it up to the spirit world. Okay, my guides, or whoever, are going to help me with that. And if you're having a day where it might not be like a good day, that you're like, oh my God, I got to do this today. Like the day of my surgery, I had to psych myself up, believe me. Right. I'm like, oh my God. Right. But I psyched myself up. It's going to be a great surgery. Things are going to flow. Everything's going to go naturally. I'm healed. I'm all of those things. When you really, really, really do that, you're going to be like, wow, I'm glad it's over with. I'm glad that's done. Let's say it actually didn't go as bad as I thought. So, Capricorn, Jen, again, do you see me meeting my soul tribe? When you let go of the wrong people, you will meet your soul tribe. You know, take a look at, because you attract who you are. So when you take a look at people around you, you don't connect with them anymore. I can't be myself. Those aren't your people. So your vibrational, if you're trying to be somebody you're not, you'll attract people to you, but it's not going to work. So yeah, I do see you, you will meet certain people. I don't see you meeting tons of people this year, no. But you're going to find that, yeah, when I let go of certain people that I just don't connect with anymore, all of a sudden new doors open, because the universe is like, okay, well, like, she's changing all of these things. You know what I mean? So we're going to bring these people to her. So that's why you have to be very authentic, because if you're not going to attract the right people to you. Okay, Gina, any messages from my sister Dina? Passed a long time ago. I like that name, by the way. I'm literally hearing right away. Um, you need to really believe in yourself, Gina. Like, I don't know why I'm hearing like, what is this? There's such a huge future. Like there's this huge um opportunity that's going to be coming to you, by the way. You have to believe in yourself, really believe in yourself. Let go of certain negative energies. There's certain dramas you have around you. Let that go, let that go, let that go. You know, and I'm also seeing travels for you too, by the way. I'm hearing, literally hearing that coming in for you. I'm literally see you like walking on a beach. like, look at the beach here. I'm literally seeing you walking by the water. You need that solitude. You need that time for you because you're going to be really surprised what messages are going to be coming in for you. You're very, very gifted and very, very talented. I've seen a dog too, by the way, for some reason. So, so anyways, you guys, we're just wrapping up here at the end. And I was just, if I don't know if you already are or not, but subscribe to my channel and like the videos and make some comments. Let me know what's going on with you. The Cosmic Vibes series that I'm doing, I will tell you what's going to happen every single day with these energies, how to work through it. Certain days to avoid certain things, and so on and so on and so on, right? And it can help you plan things around that and to not rush into certain situations, right? Because this is a month where if you're not paying attention, it can go not so good, right? That's why, like I said, I booked certain appointments that I didn't want to book this month on purpose because I'm like, I got to get it done. I got to get it over with. I have to deal with this. I'm surrendering. It's going to be resolved. I'm surrendering it to the eclipse and all of this kind of energies. When you do that, the universe is like that, like she's taking steps to resolve it. She's taking steps to, but I failed it before. Don't worry about that. The universe takes a look at, you're not perfect. Nobody is. The universe takes a look at, what she's trying or he's trying. She wants to resolve these issues. Um, and when you're doing it from integrity, from your heart, the right intention, that's the only thing that matters. It really is. Speak your truth, walk in integrity, do what you feel is right for you. We can get advice from 100 people. However, it's really important for you to listen to your own soul speak. What are you feeling? How are you feeling? you know, because if we listen to everybody else, it can stop you from following your dreams. You can be like, wow, wonder what would have happened if I would have went that direction or if I would have made that change. All of that, right? That's what happens. But what if I screw up? You're human. You're human. We all make mistakes. Oh my gosh, right? Nobody's perfect. However, if you learn from your mistakes, then everything will be good. Everything will be fine. Nobody's perfect. I could give you a million examples how many times I fell down, how many times I'm like, oh my God, Jeni, why did you do this? Or I could millions of reasons, millions, that's part of life. We're all human, we all mess up. So don't be hard on yourself, you guys, right? Um, thank you, Jeni. I had a reading from you last year and it was great and helpful. I need to do another. Oh, awesome. Well, I'm glad. Yeah, looking forward. You guys can book a reading, soulworkwithjeni.com. And, I give a lot of details, very specific, and so on and so on and so on, as you guys know who have booked with me. And I do hold back on the live, personal details because I'm not going to embarrass you or make you feel uncomfortable. So keep that in mind. So thank you, everybody. I really appreciate, very grateful for all of you for tuning in. Do you guys like Saturdays for the live readings? I should do a survey actually on this. Last month I think it was on a Friday. So I'm just kind of, trying to pick a date, like a certain date, if it's Fridays or Saturdays or whatever that works better. But it's a hit or miss go, of course, right? We all have stuff that comes up. And with that eclipse, anything could happen. I'm telling you. So follow me on Instagram, you guys, Jeni Ji Cousins. I'll follow you right back. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel here, for goodness sakes, right? To get these notifications, right? And my team puts notifications up on Instagram and social media as well. So, that way you'll get notifications. But subscribing to the YouTube channel is your best way because whenever there's a new video, things come up. You're automatically, informed and such like that. So, and I'm also just going to put my little, before we sign off here, my website here as well for you guys. Workwithjeni.com. And if you would like to book a reading with me and get a lot more insights and so on, we can do that, so you don't have to worry at all. But start setting your intentions, start setting vision boards, and so on and so on and so on. Don't worry about, oh my God, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? Like, believe me, this month for me in March, I'm like, okay, how am I going to do this and how am I going to do that? Like, oh my God. And it comes down to taking one step at a time. I got some really big things going on this month, and I'm like, oh my God, that's like one step at a time, one step at a time. Surrender. Spirit, that's your problem. My appointment's booked. It's booked. And I'm now leaving it up to spirit world and the universe, surrendering it from my highest calling. That's the way to do it, you guys. So thanks again, everyone, for tuning in. Um, Make sure you like the video, make some comments, subscribe to my channel for goodness sakes. Check out my Cosmic Vibe series weekly. You can go back and watch the videos and you'll see how things actually did happen during certain days. All right. So love and light, everyone. Love and light, everyone. Love and light.
Oh, good show.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, yeah, that's
yeah.
good.
But what
Yeah.
I've observed that as we move towards the end, there are more questions. But I think if we would have stayed more questions would have come. But I think it's better that we close it on time so that people wants to join the next one.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Right. So, I mean, even if anybody comments after, I'll just say, well, just stay tuned for the next live. Right.
Yep. So what
So
I've done,
that's why I
I've
asked them that. That's why I thought I'd ask them, like, with it being Saturday, is that a better day? Like, I don't know. Right.
yeah, this engagement this time it was really well
Yeah.
as compared to the other one.
Yeah.
Okay,
So I know it's a hit or miss. Like, I know it's a hit or miss. So I'm glad about that.